I showed up at the dealer meeting and there was a bunch of fat cat, good old boys, cigar smoking, scotch drinking guys sitting around talking about everything but RVs. And I came with my brilliant ideas, young, fresh ideas, and I mentioned something about we should be open on weekends and we should be open after 5 because of families. And they all looked at me like I was crazy. And the one guy, the president of the association at the time, he said, "Little girl, what are you doing here? You need to go home and bake cookies. This is no place for any girls." So the next 3 months, because every month there was an association, we had a meeting. So the next 3 months, they went and had their meetings without me. And I showed up. "Oh, we had the meeting yesterday. Oh, you didn't get the memo. Oh, sorry." That kind of thing for 3 months. So on the 4th month, I just decided to go on my own. I never went to another meeting, and I decided to be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And I did that for 11 years. And I knew that what was missing in this business when I started was customer service.
What are your tips for consumers? What shall consumers consider when they're thinking about buying an RV?
Well, in today's world, like everybody's, on this rage about, wanting an RV, but they don't really know why or what they want to do with it. So what I tell people, if you hire me for my services, or even if you just listen to some of my shows and tips and stuff, I'm going to tell you to get out a piece of paper and pencil and write down what do you expect out of this RV? What do you want this RV to do for you? What are your expectations? What is your budget? How often are you going to use it? Are you full-time and are you part-timing? Is it weekends? How many do you need to sleep? These are questions you have to sit down and ask yourself and answer before you start your search, because a salesperson, an RV salesperson, is only there to sell you what you come in and ask them for. So you have to write those things down, and you have to really study your own life and your own plan of what you plan on doing with it before you walk into the sharks at the dealership, because they're only going to sell you what you think you want.
Motorhome implies it has an engine, it has wheels, there is maintenance, there are insurances. What are the costs and hidden costs that someone would incur when owning a motorhome?
The cost that you need to consider is, number one, parking and storage. If you cannot leave it at home, how much is it going to cost to put it in storage, and how far away is the storage, and that cost. Insurance is a factor, but it's not terribly expensive. Motorized is obviously going to be more than one you tow behind your vehicle, because you're already paying one liability policy, but you can calculate that between maybe $400 a year up to, $1,500, $1,900, somewhere in that, based on your driving record. Maintenance, engine-wise, you have more maintenance, oil changes, batteries, things like that on a motorized vehicle than you would on a pull trailer. But the most important maintenance is a couple of tubes of silicone and Dicor, or have your local dealer or an expert to seal it for you once a year, 8 months to a year. And if you do that, it'll last you forever.
What is the life expectancy of a motorhome?
I mean, they financed, for 15 to 20 years now. So if the banks are considering that their longevity of at least up to 20 years, they will last. I have 2005 still on my rental fleet that are perfect and being rented, yearly. So, and I take care of them. So the insides, and you can change carpets, and your fabric might wear out, but that's a minimal cost, and it's like new again. Engine wise, I see a lot of 1999s, 93s, 92s still on the road and still going. So it's all in how you take care of it.
What are the options that are available for consumers as far as paying for the RV? There are auto loans if someone buys a car loans. There are mortgages when people buy homes. Motorhome is something in between, right? What kind of financing options are available for consumers? Does it make sense to finance an RV, or does it make sense to purchase it for cash?
If you're buying an RV from a dealer and you're traveling and you need to depend on service, sometimes I recommend a customer, even though they can pay cash, I recommend them to finance even a portion of it, to finance it so that you have some leverage over the dealer's head. There's a couple of tricks up my sleeve, to hold them accountable, based on if they have a finance contract, it makes the dealer a little more accountable. And then after all the issues are resolved, pay it off. But there's good terms right now. Cash is king. I would keep it and I would use it and I would invest it and I would finance an RV if you can, because the interest rates are in the fours right now. And in 30, almost 6 years in business, we've never had interest rates this low. So I would take advantage of that.
What is the interest rate right now in general, right? Of course, it depends on the credit score and everything. What is a good interest rate that someone shall expect to pay on their RV?
If you're 720 speaking score and up, you could be around 4.5, 4 3/4, which is very low. Scores in the 650 to 700 range, you're probably looking maybe in the 5 to 7 range. If you're 620 and below, and may not be financeable, but I've had some deals in the 550s and 570s, which are 18%. 18% is about the maximum that they could charge. But so that's kind of a range. So it's based on credit, but it's not. It's technically the whole package. Stability, income. There's a lot of what's hurting a lot of people right now is a lot of people took advantage of the COVID stimulus packages, forbearance on their mortgages, forbearance on their car payments. Well, it's ruining people's credit now, because all of those people that are back on track and trying to get an RV are automatic turn down. So think about that. If it's offered to you, any kind of those forbearance deals, it will hurt you in the future.
For someone considering to buy an RV for the first time, is it better to start with a used vehicle or a new one?
Well, my highest recommendation for newbies is, unless you absolutely, already know exactly what you want, which is very unusual for a newbie, I suggest you rent, even if it's a 3-day trip, a 4-day trip, rent a couple of different models. There are peer-to-peer rental companies out there, or find a local rental company and try out a motorhome, try out a travel trailer, try out a Class A, try out a Class C. Rent a few different things so that you can get your feet wet. And then it doesn't matter whether you buy new or used. As far as a newbie, what happens is when you buy the wrong vehicle is because you didn't know what you really wanted, and then you want to get out of it. So if you rent something, well, the first thing is to rent just to see if you like the lifestyle, which 99% of the people do. But that will really tell you a lot of where you want your bathroom, what size bed you want or don't want, and shower curtain or glass shower or this or that, or all those different things you'll learn in a rental in 3 days.
When coming to the dealer and having a conversation with the dealer, what are the red flags that consumers should be asking themselves and asking the dealer? What are the red flags to watch out for during the deal?
For starters, a lot of people are shopping on the internet right now because there's a very, very low inventory, and it's a big problem in our industry. So what's happening is consumers are shopping online, and dealers are not being forthcoming in what they have on their website as it being sold. So customers are driving an hour away, seeing something online, talking to the salesman. Okay, I'm coming down to look at it. Drive an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Oh, sorry, it was just sold. But let me switch you to this unit. So the old bait and switch thing is happening. Incredible. If that happens and you drive somewhere and someone told you it was available and it's gone and they try to switch you, number 1, red flag. Number 2, red flag. They ask you to put a deposit on a vehicle that you haven't seen, and it's non-refundable. Second big red flag. Okay. Let's say they give you a contract and it is refundable, subject to your inspection. You need to see the whole contract, because there's language on the front that says, they write refundable, and then on the back of some contracts, it's non-refundable. So it's very ambiguous, and if you put it on your credit card, the credit card company is not a legal department. So most of the time, because it's stamped on the front that says non-refundable, you lose. So that's a red flag. So if they don't show you the front and the back and all the pages that go with that contract, that's a huge red flag. The two things that are in most of these dealers' contracts, even if you're sitting in front of the dealer, and a lot of people are not reading the entire contract, which is, I want to say shame on you, but I'm going to say it again. Look for the language in the contract. Number one, if you're ordering a unit, there's language in a contract that says that, and it's usually in page 2 or 3 in the very tiny print, and it'll say that if there's a factory price increase, you are agreeing to pay the increase, or if they've modified or altered the options or the interior, you've accepted it in its new price and new condition, whatever. And nobody reads that, so they're basically telling you that you're going to have a price increase, because that's what that means. And the other section that's in their contract that is a huge red flag on an ordered unit is it says that by signing this contract, you have inspected the vehicle and have accepted it in its current condition. Well, it's not built yet, so how could you accept it in its current condition? And I've had this happen with a member, RV Advisor member, who purchased it, didn't see that in the contract, financed it, did everything, but it wasn't delivered from the factory yet. Well, the driver that brought it from the factory wrecked it. He wrecked it, and put a big hole in the side of the vehicle. So the dealer's like, oh, it's yours, you own it. So he said, well, you got to call your insurance company and claim it on your and the customer's like, but I didn't take delivery. Not according to this paper. So anyway, a year and a half later, this member has been fighting between the insurance company and the dealer. He got stuck with it. He was stuck with it, and it's going to be on the insurance forever, even when it goes to resell it, that it had like a $35,000 claim. So look at the language in the contract.
Is there such thing as an extended warranty on the RV?
Yes, and highly recommended. First off, if you're buying from a dealer, they're going to offer you an extended warranty at the time of purchase. If you don't purchase the extended warranty, but if you don't purchase the warranty at the time that you purchase the RV, and there is an issue, it's a pre-existing problem. So so you definitely need to buy it because these policies are what's called sign and drive. If you buy a used vehicle, because every dealer is as is, so on used units, no dealer has any warranty at all. The curb is your warranty. So it's as is. You must purchase an extended warranty on a used vehicle, 100%. And it actually is better than any factory warranty. If you're buying a new vehicle from a dealer and you're just passing through and you're never going to be back at that dealer again, or in that area, in that territory, I can assure you what happens in the industry, no other dealer in the country is obligated to fix that RV under manufacturer factory warranty, but the selling dealer. So you will not get warranty work done under warranty. It's next to impossible. So if that's going to happen, I almost recommend you to have the dealer title it as a used vehicle with no factory warranty, and then you buy the extended warranty, so the extended warranty kicks in right away. But you have to be careful because that will also void your structure warranty. So with the manufacturer, so you got to make sure that structurally the RV is good, the roof is good, the rubber is good, but all of the components in the RV have like the roof has a 20-year warranty for defects, not for poor installation, but for defective material. So these are things that you have to inspect, have an inspector, and really look at that close if you decide to title something as used, so that you can get this extended warranty. But it is 100% a must to have a extended warranty on anything that you buy.
As you know, we get to speak to a lot of consumers that are upset about RVs, and we've had a number of interviews with consumers, and I get the feeling, maybe you can correct me or maybe you can say that I'm right, about factory warranties for certain RV manufacturers I get a feeling that factories on purpose and or dealerships keep vehicles at warranty for so long at their shops, like for 8 months, 9 months, just to wait until warranty runs out. Is this my feeling and I just got lucky by talking to people like that? But I've seen a number of people that have been complaining that for minimal problems, RVs are stuck in the shop, in the dealer's shop, for months.
I'll explain how warranty works, and then you'll understand why dealers don't want to, it's almost becomes, well, first off, these big dealers, big box retailers, Camping World, General RV, some of these big stores, they're selling 200, 250, 300 units a month. It is impossible to service 200 to 300 units a month. Impossible. They're getting these things off. The factory is building these things as fast as they can, and they're coming to the dealers, the dealerships. They don't. First off, the factories don't even do a water test. They don't hook up water to the RV, so they have no idea if their plumbing lines are connected or working or anything. That's the dealer's responsibility. 99% of the problems that are going on right now are the dealers not prepping these units properly. They're just sending them out just as fast as the factory is and letting the customer just go deal with it. And that's the problem. So the dealership is responsible, but the manufacturers aren't going to throw the dealers under the bus because the manufacturers need the dealers. So it's just a big circle. Everybody's chasing their tail. So the way warranty process works, and I was a very big dealer many years ago. I was a very big dealer. I was one of the top dealers in the country. And I too was selling 200 and something units a month, and it's hard to keep up. But what I did was, I started to just do the work myself. It takes 5 people just to process a warranty claim to give you 0.80, $13 for a claim. So it became for me more cost effective for me to just absorb the cost and just fix the part, change it, do whatever I got to do, and eat the warranty, than to process the claim. The factory hopes that you don't have the time to do the paperwork to process the claim, which is what happens. So it's that part of it is always been broken. The system's been broken. But the bottom line is that customers must stop looking for the best price, the cheapest price. I am now, I'm no longer that big if I'm probably the most expensive dealer in South Florida, in Florida, and because you get what you pay for. But if my customer has an issue, well, first off, I prep these units before they go out and I fix problems before they get to the customer. But if my customer has an emergency, a problem, he's in within 24 hours. A non-emergency, he's in the next day, or I send somebody to your house to fix the problem, or I send somebody to you if you're in the campground and your air conditioner is broken. I don't wait for the factory to send me an air conditioner, which is 3 months from now. I buy it myself. I put a new air conditioner on it, and I go fight with them later. So that's what needs to happen.
Would you be able to recommend RV brands for consumers?
I recommend that you buy local and don't buy the brand, buy the dealer. Every manufacturer is making almost the same floor plans. They're all copying each other. So fall in love with the dealer, get a relationship with the dealer, and have that dealer, if he doesn't have it, she doesn't have it, then see if they can get it for you, if you want a particular floor plan. But do not get married to a manufacturer, marry a dealer, because that's the only one that's going to help you.
What are the RV consumer rights and protections that someone who purchases an RV has?
Technically, 0. And that's what I'm fighting for. Lemon law is very gray. It only relates to motorized, and even that's very hard to win on.
You've formed your own organization called RV Advisor Association. Tell us a little bit about this RV Advisor Association.
I would over and over get friends, exhibitors, equestrians asking me, I need to buy a fifth wheel. I'm in California. Who do you recommend? And every time I would recommend somebody, they would let my friend / customer down. They would either screw them over. So it got to a point where I couldn't recommend anybody. I couldn't. And, so they would call me when there was a problem with their RV because the dealer didn't take care of them, because nobody cares. So people were always asking me, how do, like, you need to nationalize yourself. And, so that's kind of where the RV Advisor was born, as a non-biased company, so that you can, number one, I can educate you on the things to look for. And people don't even know the questions to ask a dealer, so the dealer's not going to volunteer everything. So that's how it kind of started. Look for a pattern, because sometimes there are competitors that write bad reviews about other competitors and stuff like that. But if you look at the pattern of the service and how long their RV sat there, and the extended warranties and how they failed them and they didn't pay their claims, all those kind of things. And you look at a pattern, and if the pattern fits and everybody's in the same pattern, then it's real. It's a real review. Stay clear. As RV Advisor member, we will vet out anybody you need us to vet out. And the thing is that if you're a member of the RV Advisor or RV ACA, you go to that dealer and say, hey, I'm a member of RV Advisor. Our purpose is to make those dealers so afraid of me, because I will catch them at all of their BS. So I want them to be so afraid of me that they take such good care of you, and you're at the top of their list. And that's what we're trying to gain.
Gigi, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you on the show. For all of our viewers, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see other experts just like Gigi talking about various industries. Gigi, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.